Express Sport reporter Matthew Dunn discusses the latest Premier League talking points. Proving the Newcastle credentials by bringing life-sized Ant and Dec mascots to St James Park, this was the start of a long-awaited era for Amanda Staveley and her crew. Meanwhile, at the other end of the table, there was more woe for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, while Express Sport's Matthew Dunn was as transfixed by Mo Salah's footwork as half of the Watford defence. As artificial as the celebration in the director's box when Newcastle took their lead in the second of the game was the very real sense of, oh no, when they pulled that late goal back against Tottenham. The shudder that ran round the country at Eric Dier's own goal was one of dismay, not excitement. Were Spurs really so Spursy that they were not going to strike a petulant blow of comeuppance to the Saudi regime? Thankfully, they clung on to leave Newcastle second from bottom. Those Newcastle fans old enough to remember the Kevin Keegan era used to love being considered everybody's second favourite team. Going forward, they need to be used to the sentiment being very different. And if they have got any sense, Ant and Dec will heed their own advice. I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. When Cristiano Ronaldo was made to acknowledge the fans following the 4-2 defeat against Leicester by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, one man moved a step closer to waving goodbye for good. The signing of the Portuguese has become a battle of wills at the top of the club, and it is super sub Solskjaer who will again find he is benched if the results continue. And the current show of support from the Manchester United board could actually work against him, because if the things drag on later into the season before the axe falls, the temptation would be to go with an interim solution. Perhaps if there were a club legend to perform the player-manager role Ryan Giggs undertook in April 2014, think of any possible candidates. How enticing, indeed, would that sort of appointment be were Sir Alex Ferguson were to indicate he were happy to accept an office back at the training ground if Ronaldo needed a mentor figure.